Valve actually taking Train out of the group for Gamescom? I'll just ask you really quick.
I think there was a disadvantage for us at least because we love to play Train, but I'm up for adding new maps, and if they were forced to remove Train, then that's it, you know. There's nothing more to talk about if you ask me.
Yeah, the
But
decision is made.
it still is strange when they removed it and it's still playing on this qualifier, if you ask me. They should at least added the 2 new maps, or, you know, 3.
You just hit the nail on the head right there, Get right.
I mean,
It
I
does
would
seem
love
odd.
to see some cobble here. Oh, they're
Well,
locked here in the corner.
is it true that no teams are really practicing the new maps?
I have no idea. We haven't started practicing yet, so
Yeah,
we'll
I heard
see tomorrow.
not to posting on like the Facebook chat for like and the new maps is dead. Like nobody is practicing the new maps at all.
Well, we will see though. Like when this qualifier is over, I think that more teams gonna be open up to playing them at least, and to at least play them a few times to see, you know, get a good grip of it at least.
Yeah.
Well, not a good, but at least, you know, a decent one, so you know at least where people usually stand and so on. Because I've been playing many games on matchmaking to get a grip of the map, but I'm still very confused about this overpass map. I'm not sure what to do on it though. Maybe I'm just a completely noob though, but we'll see.
It seems like one of those maps that's just going to confuse people for a while. Like some teams seem to have a pretty firm idea of like what's going on. The American teams in particular, actually, if you listen to like I Buy Power Steel, he put together a video recently with Cotton, you know, going over some potential changes for Overpass. So it seems like at least, you know, like some teams are really like looking at him with a close eye.
I mean, why not? Because it's
what kind of quality of games are we gonna see then, right?
yeah, that as well. But still, you don't want to go into a tournament and you're like forced to play a map you never played with your team or yourself. It's not gonna be, you know, sounds good in your head, you know. So you want at least to go it through and see what happens. And I think that's a good idea on Steel and the other guy. I don't remember the nickname of him. To actually, you know, look through it and see if there can be any changes at least, or you know us some sort of a strat to do on the map.
Yeah, that's a big thing, and we'll be keeping our eyes open, guys. We'll be looking for news. But now we are into the pistol round, and it looks like dAT team will be on the CT side, ESG on the T side. We're not wasting any time here. ESG aren't either. They're going straight out onto this A site. Flashes, smokes the whole shebang, and they're just going for the plant right there. Are they gonna get it? They just barely manage, but Delpan gets punished, and this is still a man advantage situation for dAT team on the CT side, looking to just move in. And there you go, Emilio is gonna stop the defuse, just barely stops it in time. Now Blade has to step forward. We're into a 2-on-2, at least a kit has been conveniently dropped on top of the bomb. But Blade is looking to try and draw them out into the open. It's not meant to be. Huiten with a double kill through the smoke, and that is gonna be the end of that. ESG somehow make the full YOLO plant work.
It looked strange when because I was looking over you on how everything was going because of the smokes and so on, and it looked like that team was having pretty good precision to actually kill the the bomb planter. But unfortunately for them, they missed the guy in the smoke. They couldn't really find him, and the Swedes were just doing correctly there. You know, just taking a shield after the plant, trying to get picks close to them, and just let the time waste.
Right.
And it looks like at least a standard antique around here. You can see Makele has a pistol, trying to stay up for AVP, and yeah.
And something to be said here for that team as well. Not really going for any Kevlar helmet, just straight up pistols. And even then, Blade isn't going for a pistol upgraded. He's just got a USPS and Flamey with the P2K. Again, we have an A play coming up here for ESG, just swamping the site, getting the smokes down, looking to get some shots in, and they will. 2 good kills come in. Bondic will find 1, however. Flamey gets 2 with the P2K, and he's still alive into a 2-on-2. All of a sudden, this has turned into a very hairy situation. Another kill comes in from Flamey. He's got 3, but that's all he will get. Huiten shuts him down in the end, but after a very costly round for ESG.
Yeah, and I think it paid off for them for not, full buying, and you can see on them, that's what I was looking for, to see how their money was, to see if they're gonna force buy, and as you can see on the result, they're gonna force buy, and I'm not sure what Banjik, or how you pronounce his name, is gonna buy though, because he had only 3k, and he looks like he's gonna go for a FAMAS though. But
Now,
the Swedes are at least ready that they're gonna force buy, and unfortunately for them, Emilio just got killed there in inner.
He committed. I mean, it seems like he really thought that it was just going to be pistols, you know, right? I can stick around and take a bit of a duel. Michael strikes back and picks off Flamey, though, so there is that going for that team. Mondic has taken quite a bit of damage as well, dropped down to 7 HP, but the same could be said for Delpan, dropped down to 34. So this seems pretty even right now, actually, across the board for both of these teams.
Yeah,
yeah, go ahead.
and this map is not a map that you want to be having a 4v4 as CT as well, because like there's so many angles that you can hide and holdings. You can see that the CT are splitting up two guys in there, two guys outside, because they're not sure what they're gonna strike. And if they're lucky enough to tease and striking alley here, like they're doing, it's gonna be painful for them to rotate, because it's gonna be really hard to go for example, like let's say connector and try to go out there.
Right, of course, and already we have a very quick push coming in here. It's going to be Delpan. He gets caught. Ubik with a good position, actually gets a headshot on Roke as well, drops him down to 2 HP. Very scary situation now as it just completely crumbles. It's working for that team. They managed to completely shut ESG in and drop the bomb in the middle of nowhere. Now down to Michael, who's had 2 kills so far, but he needs an ace to pull off this round. And it's not looking likely. That team really with a strong setup, just forcing Michael to turn this way and that, and with 8 seconds left on the clock, there's just not enough time here for the Swede. He gets caught out in the open. Now, what went right here for that team? Right, like that seemed like just a perfect call from Ubik to just spot the bomb and then back off fast enough to get into a decent position.
He did correctly there. He didn't do any stupid peek when he was peeking alley there. He was just going straight out and straight back in directly, because he knows it's kind of late in the round. They're forced to go somewhere, and if they're doing correct call going alley there, and at least for him, and he was doing the right call to just go out, see if there's coming guys. He spots 3 guys there, and he knows it's gonna be yard, and he just finish out the job and getting his team back to help him out.
Yeah. That was, I mean, it was a very clean play, and the quick rotation as well from that team. Big nade goes in from World Edit, keeps himself alive, and Bondic will find the last kill on Roke. ESG, this is actually something we see fairly often on Train, is just, you're on the T side, you need to get a plant play that ESG have been favoring on the A site, or you just kind of YOLO out onto the B site and cross your fingers, hope that you can kill off the guy holding close and just get that plant.
I would prefer to go outside with a smoke at least, to smoke on the, the yellow hot dot side. So you can at least smoke there and you go down bomb with a pop dog. And you're trying to go outside and, trying to get the plant through the smoke there. Because I feel personally it's easier thing to do instead of going in there, because usually there are always 2 guys inside, and if they're both having rifles, they're standing close to each other and pretty, aggressive together.
Right.
They have a better control, but...
This is still such a give and take round, though. Big kill there from, it looked like Emilio managing to walk out and pick off the man holding connector. That was World Edit with the AWP to boot. And now they've got control of this A side ESG. They're closing in from all the angles. Bondic will find a kill on Delpan, though. Bondic getting caught, rushed down by Michael, who manages to get up close, right next to Ali. And this is going to be a plant for ESG. There's just no way for that team to stop it for now. They have to go for the retake, and it's just not working. Roke finds a good headshot on Flamey. Or the right call right now, get right, is to back off, right? To just save the guns.
Yeah, and it looks like they're kind of doing that. You see the guy in alley just trying to see if he can get someone before, they're gonna full save. But unfortunately for him, he just got killed there, and that leaves up with Blade being alone, and they pretty much know that he's inside, so... And you see that Schitten is trying to be, aggressive here to take him off. But it's gonna be kinda risky for him, because he's going far away alone. But it seems like he's going to be having a luck on his side and getting the kill.
Yeah, Huiten actually getting the drop on him. So really well done there by ESG. Hunting down the guys who are trying to save, getting the plant, getting the round. They actually have the lead now on Train with 3 rounds on the T side. So ESG looking pretty solid so far. That team, however, are deciding to go for a force pretty much. Ubik not going to have too much money left over, just a 5-7 in armor, but they still have an AWP on World Edit. Kind of curious to see exactly where this is going to go, seeing as how Delpan has already posted up at T main, manages to put a shot through, not going to get a kill though. So nothing really going ESG's way quite yet.
You can see that they're trying to get any peek here with Delpan in the first line, but in the same time you can see Elite, he's standing in link area here, and he knows there are 3 guys, or at least 1 guy in link, team main there. So he's trying to see if he can get in a peek here, and it's actually working for him, and he got Emilio there. And now he's trying to, point blank, seeing if he can get someone through the smoke.
Oh, what a flick from Delpan. Picks off Bondic, brings it back to a 4-on-3, but Delpan got headshot in the process. Dropping low, Blade on the edge of the smoke manages to catch him off guard. And now it's a two-man lead here for that team. The bomb has not been dropped yet. They still have control of the bomb, but now they're just caught out in the open. It's down to Huiten with 9 HP left, 1v3, and nowhere to go. Can't actually get out of this position. He's just stuck behind Electric and gets caught out in the open. Flamey will catch him in the end. 3-3 now. It just seems like such a back and forth struggle, but finally it comes to an end. ESG just shouldn't have the money to put a real buy in here.
It was unfortunate for them because I think they were feeling that they're gonna be having eco there because Blade got killed in the last second with AVP there. But I think they were committing too much to that because there was, if you saw, there was 3 guys in team main and they just waiting for Delpa to get any pick. He couldn't find anything and eventually he just, you know, fell apart from there.
It just didn't happen. He was really trying to force the issue. And now, well, Roke manages to catch the drop on somebody. They do manage to get a plant out of this ESG, so that's actually a pretty big win there. With the money that they have saved up from the last round, they should actually manage to put something pretty respectable together. Ubik finding Michaelele, who's hiding over an alley. So that was a bit of a close call. Goes back to confirm. But yeah, that team now in the lead.
And you can see that Huiten just dropped an AVP because he had more money than Delpan had. Like he had 7k, Delpan had 5k. He wouldn't have any armor, so he just dropped the AVP there for being nice and so on.
But oh, look at that though. Delpan not taking he's not taking the AWP to team main. He's going in Brown Halls now. Or is it Pop Dog?
Oh yeah, Pop Dog, and he actually got the kill. But unfortunately, not unfortunately, getting a second one. Maybe he can get number 3 here soon.
It's looking pretty likely. He's alive and kicking. 2 kills to him. What just happened? Flamey with the double spray down on Emilio and Roke both. And they lose Delpan. No, Delpan is still alive. The last man alive for his team, in fact, in a 1v2. Not sure if you heard Flamey step there in connector, but he has to be assuming. With a minute left on this clock, Delpan has got options.
Yeah, but he's still not sure where the other guy is. He knew that he was still last time in alley. Maybe he's gonna go by 5th stream like he's peeking. He's just trying to be cool, and if I know Delpan that good enough like I should do, he should be peeking team main any second now, but he's still kinda clueless about where the enemies are. But he's doing still the right call. He's going up the ladder though, so the guys just missed him in yard. So we will see though. That one 1v2 could be winnable for him.
Especially if he gets into the B site and gets the plant. This could be really good for him. Ubik working his way over to Pop Dog. Flamey expecting a push through CT, in fact. Not going to spot Delpan actually getting onto this site, but he does hear the plant, and now they know. And he even gets in there to deny it. The timing from Flamey and the positioning as well, working wonders.
So unfortunate for Delpan there. When he started up the round, they're pretty good. It was just that those 2 left guys in that team, they had pretty good position to get easy kills there, and it ended up with Delpan being 1v2 there. It just wasn't enough for him to clutch the round.
It was a close call. It was a close call. I thought that he was just going to plant on the train. And imagine if he had planted on the train, we would be looking at a different situation. Delpan could have turned that around, but instead, he gets caught off guard. And now we're into an eco round here from ESG. No plant, so no buy for them. And Michaelele doing good work, managing to catch 2 kills, in fact, with the P250. And he's still alive. He's still here, just drawing attention to this A site. It's finally going to get shut down, but Emilio is going to get the plant in the meantime. This is all over the place. I don't know what to think anymore. There we go. Finally, they managed to shut it down. But ESG, man, doing big damage.
Yeah, especially like Michael there. Like he just ran out completely wide open from Pop Dog there, and he headshot one of the guys to 5 HP directly. So he couldn't actually help out his teammate there in Link. So he was, you know, standing alone there against a PT50, and being that angle that the guy in Link was, I don't know. I wouldn't prefer that spot at least. Because he was standing pretty much wide open, what I understood.
Mm-hmm. So as far as you're concerned, that was your go-to spot.
Yeah.
Alright, good to know. Right now, though, it is going to be Flamey, taking a little bit of heat on lower. The bomb is making its way towards the B site, however. 3 members here, in fact, for ESG. Defense is pretty solid, but there's only one guy here to hold, and that is Ubik, so he has to be a little bit careful. But it does seem like ESG are fixing to speed up Smokes on upper, flash is raining in, and this is going to be the B push. And World Edit is already here in position with the AWP now, looking for an opportunity to get a shot in. Not going to land it. He lands it on the second try. Huiten is caught. The bomb is planted, but this is still a man advantage retake here for that team. So far, Rogue's position actually working out pretty good. He's still alive on this B site, gets a double lineup, and that is going to be massive. But World Edit instantly strikes back, picks up another kill. At this point, Delpan really going to be looking for World Edit, but he doesn't get the timing down. Emilio will find Bondic, and Ubik gets back into it. World Edit now just going, but Emilio is there, and Emilio with the double frag in the end. They had no idea he was there, though.
They should have had at least a clue on where he was, because he took just one guy by the bomb train. But you never know when you're in those situations, when it's probably, you know, a lot of voices in the TeamSpeak, Mumble, or whatever voice program they're using, you know. They're not even sure exactly. But they should have at least had a clue on where he was.
What the plan was, right?
No.
It seemed like he was just able to get under them. World Edit picked off Delpan and upper, and at that point, it just worked out. Delpan getting denied this time at Pop Dog, looking to get an early peak, but that's not going to happen. That team not allowing it. And it seems like ESG are content to just kind of walk their way over to Brown Hall. So it seems like, you know, hey, they've had some success on B site. Why change it up? And once again, Delpan waiting in Pop Dog. He's looking for Bondic. Is Bondic going to spot him fast enough? Yes, he will. Bondic gets the kill. Very clean work there by him. But in the meantime, the bomb is making its way out through lower. Flamey now by the bomb train, gets flashed. Still alive. Is he going to find Rogue? Yes, he will. There's a shot. He gets the second one. Good spray. Gets the triple spray. Flamey with the triple. Instant kills. And Blade catches Emilio on the rotation. Big round from that team. They needed a flawless win.
That was so good of Flamey there on the B side there. Like, lucky for him, the guy that was rotating to him, he leg shot the first guy in the air, but he got a beautiful spray there from, you know, crouching, and got 3 kills after that, like when he killed the first one. So it was really, really nice of him.
Yeah, just top-notch work there, and that's going to buy his team a little bit of breathing room here. Not for long, though. ESG, they've decided the big, round, voluptuous letter is their home. They don't want anything to do with the pointy letter. B site is where it's at, but not this time either. They only get the 1 kill on Flamey. No plants. What's their money looking like? It's not stellar. Do you go for a buy in this situation, Get Right?
I think you're kind of forced to, because they had a pretty good, like, yard execution at least, but it's still so unsure when you're having Delpan with an AVP and he has 0 armor still. But we will see what happens when he's going down here and Pop Dog here. Still smoked off though.
Still smoked off, but the smokes and flashes are down here. Blade is pushing very close, but Delpan with an instant kill on him. The flank comes in from Michael Lele. He catches Bonding at the back of the site. He even catches Flamey point blank. Swaps out for that M4. And all of a sudden, that team just find themselves 3 men down. This is not going their way. Good kill there by World Edit catching Roke on the hunt, but that is not going to help things here. That team need more, and Ubik is going to get it. 1 more kill for him. Takes a fight at range. Emilio nearly clips him. 4 HP on Ubik. And at this point, that team, there's no real hope of them actually managing to get in here and get the defuse. They just need to look for... It seems like they just want to look for more frags.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty good of them, you know, like, getting at least another frag, and Michael just got killed by the bomb, and Delpan was so close to doing that as well. But still, like, I'm not sure why he was trying to peek there when he was so low on HP. He was like, you know, 2 HP or something like that. So it was kind of weird to see him, like, at least trying to kill someone. But he saved his gun, so it's good for that.
And that saves his team some money. The team still has a bit of bank. Not as much anymore, though. This round is actually crucial for both teams. ESG, they could turn this into a 9-6 finish. Bondic with a 6 spray down. Managing to catch 1. Runs out of bullets, and he gets punished. Roke will get him point blank. World Edit looking for the push from Roke. Is he going to find it, though? Roke peeks forward, and there's the flick. Good kill there by Bondic. Brings it back, or World Edit brings it back to a 3-on-3, and World Edit finds Huiten. It's like an old cowboy western, except that Huiten wasn't dancing. This time the cowboy actually got shot in the feet. 1v2 now, however, and the bomb has now been smoked off. Is Ubi going to manage to find it in time? He will, but Delpan stops it, and now World Edit gets in here point blank. Delpan trying to make it happen. He's going to walk out, and Delpan point blank. No scope. picks off World Edit and saves his team. This has now completely transformed the half. ESG, they have the potential to get 7 rounds now.
That was so good by Delpan. I'm so surprised that he actually went for the kill the bomb guy there when he after, you know, missed the first shot there on the guy, like the second guy, I mean. And I'm still surprised that he went to the, you know, the bomb guy, because it's not even sure that he's gonna go by full defuse, even though it's smoke there, you know.
It could be mind games, it could be a number of things, but there's Blade with the perfect fight! Gets 2! And now Ibik is rushing out onto the site, takes the fight at range with Michael. Good call there by Michael, drawing the fire, because that kept his teammate alive, who has no HP. Huiten very low right now. World Edit looking with the AWP, finds Michael up in Crows. Could be going for Huiten, but now Roke is trying to stop that. The bomb will finally get planted here for the Swedes, and somehow we've wound up into a 2-on-2 situation here. Man, that team though, they still have to sit back. They're trying to rotate a man through. That's World Edit now going in through connector, looking for a different angle to work with that AWP. Blade, though, does he know? Wait, then, is he going to turn around in time? Blade actually nades the site, gets 1 kill. Wait, then, waiting around electric, patient as could be. Gets gifted the final kill of this half. 8-7 the final score. Now, when you're looking at 8-7 as a final score, get right, what are you thinking? What's the first thing that crosses your mind?
It's a good, like, T-half at least for the Swedes. You should get at least 9+ run as CT, if you ask me, because T-side, it feels like it's kind of equal to CT now. Before it was more CT heavily, but it's okay still for both of the teams. Everything depends on the pistol round, like it's always is, but still it's like, especially on this map, you want to get the pistol round as T, especially since it's gonna be a lot harder, because you want to stack up your money so you can do like crazy rushes and so on yard. But we will see. I mean, this pistol round is so quiet right now. It's nothing really going on, and you can see that they're stacking 2 guys inside, 3 guys outside as well, or inside.
That's ESG. Yeah. But look at that team. They're really going for just map control, 2-on-2, all day, every day. And they're really spread out across the map right now. It feels kind of weird watching this. This is almost like old SK, like Na'Vi sort of play.
Yeah. I mean, Navi's still playing like this though. They're kind of slow on the T side, at least, if you ask me.
True, and that's kind of like a trademark of theirs. They just play the T side very slowly. So far, things are actually looking pretty decent here. I mean, they're still trying to close in from the different angles, nades and flashes, but 35 seconds left. It doesn't leave that team much time to work with here. Any good anti-flashes go out, they could be screwed royally. World Edit's gonna get caught by Delpan up in Sniper Nest rather. And Delpan is still here. Point blank picks up another one. Ubik is gone. Now it's down to Bondik and Blade, who have actually managed to get the plant, but they're not going to stay alive long here. 1v3 now for Blade, and he's just trying to dance as best he can around that train, but he will get caught out in the open eventually, and ESG will secure the round in the end.
It was so good of Delpan there to get a second kill, mostly because he was so low HP from that nade, and I thought that he was like 100% dead when the guy was going up ladder, but unfortunately for the T guy, he couldn't, you know, manage to finish him off.
Yeah, of course. That seemed like I mean, it seems like that team actually. I'm surprised that they even managed to get the plant, because it seemed like ESG had a pretty solid hold of that site once the nades started to go. Somehow that team managed to make it work, and now we find ourselves into the 17th round. That team not spending a dime. Actually, no, 1 P250 picked up on Flamey, but a very spare buy here for the Russians, and it's just, oh, it does actually manage to turn it around somewhat. They do get a kill, and they'll be able to pick up a gun here. Flamey now has an M4A1 to work with. This could do some serious damage. But the bomb has been dropped in the middle of nowhere on the A site, so it's not looking too likely here for for that team, rather. Flame on, and World Edit, it's just looking too good. ESG with a dominant performance so far at the beginning of this half.
But since they got a plant on the pistol around here, they're gonna go for a force buy. But McClay just picked up an auto sniper though. This could be like a game changer, because this round is so important for both of the teams. And if they can just, you know, win this round, especially as T, you want to win this round when you're force buying so early.
Can you say good luck, my Padawan, to Michael Lele right now?
Nah.
Because you are like the father of auto snipers. You know that, right?
Yeah, I know, but I'm not gonna give any luck to others because they're using my gun. He will do fine. He will do fine, even though I'm not sure I'm liking what he's holding though, because he's like rotating everywhere. He should be just standing, you know, point blank on the spot.
Well, yeah, he is actually just holding pretty passively back from connector. So if it does turn into a lower push, I mean, that would be brutal though. Even if the smoke goes down, just the spray from Michael Lele with that Scar 20 could completely wreck that team. So this is something to consider here, as that team have yet to really show anything at all. Just spread out across the map, hardly giving any information to ESG either. Like, ESG don't really seem to have any idea, any real idea as to what that team are doing right now on the map.
This is so strange for being trained, if you ask me. You want to get, you know, some nades early off from a team, and now eventually they're doing anything. Like Blade is going out yard and he got killed by a Molotov somehow. What?
Yeah, that was weird. And now Flamey manages to find Delpan, who does not hit a shot. Flamey going to be taking more fire from Witten, but Bondic works his way out on upper on the inner sight, and they get a plant out of this. That team looking good here all of a sudden. Things have turned around. Michael Lele trying to put that Scar 20 to work, but he doesn't have any targets. He doesn't have anybody to shoot at. Retake situation now, but look at the position of Bondic. He's in a perfect situation. He could just flank, and he will. This is going to buy so much time for his teammates to set up Michael Lele point blank with the Scar 20, but it's just not going to be good enough. He doesn't have time to get across here and actually get this defuse. And it seems like Michael Lele just staying alive at this point. The best he can hope for. World Edit is going to try and rush him down. Not going to find him in the smoke, though. Just spraying randomly, wildly. But he is not rewarded for his efforts, and we go into now a tied situation. That team bringing it back to a 9-9 scoreline.
I mean, the round they were doing was pretty good, but it was kind of slow though, and they were lucky enough they got a kill when they were going free inside. They got a kill directly on the guy who was holding inside. But it was still like a very strange round, if you ask me. Because one was going out alley, one was going out main. It didn't feel like it was, you know, organized. But maybe it is.
That was an off-the-cuff sort of play. Just they kind of whipped it together and crossed their fingers.
It looked like it, at least. But maybe it wasn't meant to be like that, but you never know.
Well, it's not really going their way this time around for ESG. Michael Lele still has the Scar 20. He's going to find a target. Bondic, not long for this world, gets caught outside of CT. And, well, Delpan will get overrun. Now, Michael Lele, again, another kill, inflicting serious economic damage now to that team. The bomb will get planted, and now at this point, that team just need to sit back and wait. They don't need to pick. They don't need to go looking for Michael Lele. Just hang back and make sure you don't give him any more frags. The auto nub. And there we go. Clean work from that team. After the first two kills there on Bondic and Flamey, they played it smart. They just didn't show themselves, and Michael Lele kind of got caught out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it's true.
Do you think he should have been saving that auto nub? That auto sniper?
Well, he should have saved it after he got the 2 kills, when they were not even showing themselves from yard. They were so much hiding everywhere because they were so afraid of getting killed by that guy. So, in my opinion, he should have saved after he got those 2 kills.
It seems like the right choice. It doesn't seem like he really managed to, or it seems like he just really wanted to go for broke. Not really ideal though when ESG are kind of hurting for money, as we can see. Very, very limited nades. I mean, you look from one team to the other, that team obviously filthy rich here. Delpan with a great headshot on World Edit though, and he even makes it out in one piece. That's a big play there from Delpan. Good, I mean, good to actually put a halt here to that team's momentum.
Yeah, and that Delpan got like away from there is kind of strange though. Like he was peeking so aggressive there, and he got one, even though he got headshotted and he just got away. It's still so strange that they didn't even try to rush him down.
They didn't try and like nade anything at all. I mean, he's still alive. This is actually now just completely falling apart for that team. ESG striking back in a big way. Take them out. near perfect hold, in fact, for ESG. So they're just looking very good, and that resets the money here for that team, who are going to go for an eco round.
I wonder if they will do. Blade just bought a smoke. They will probably go outside, or no, there's gonna be an inner rush.
Smoke on lower, get onto the side as quickly as possible, that sort of thing.
Yeah, and try just hope for the best. But they're not even rushing. They're just taking it slow. But that seems to be like their, you know, tactics in general. Just take it easy. Don't overdo anything. Don't be too aggressive. Just wait and hope for the best. Not hope for the best, but just waiting to the other team to do any like stupid mistakes.
Jesus Christ, guys.
You're back?
Hi, Anders. Do you wanna cast?
Well, if you can paste me the IP somewhere on Mumble, it may be working.
It may be.
Well, I mean, if the IP hasn't changed, they can just like knock me down in a second. So don't get too excited. But who knows? Let's see where it goes.
All right, take the reins, get right.
Well, it seems like a pretty clean, easy like anti-eco there. Roku made 3 kills there that round. They didn't do anything special. They got a plant though. That was really good out of that team. And looking on the money, they would probably like buy an AVP now because he has 7k Upini, or what it's called, I don't know. And I'm not sure. We'll see what happens. And it looks like a full buy. Of course they're doing that. But we will see if they're gonna do like any like fast rush around the yard. And let's see, World Elite's gonna go against Ali though. And oh, they're getting 2. No, Blade is getting 1, almost getting 2 though, like the T side.
Okay, well, I'm in the game, so far so good. I guess we can try and switch it over to my, my computer if you want to in the break.
Oh, we can do that, and then I can mute my microphone meanwhile, and you can take over. That would be good.
No, get right.
You can't fail, get right.
Yeah, I can. Just take it over, I will mute my microphone and try to be the camera guy instead.
It's looking like a close game we have on our hands here.
It is. It's been very back and forth, actually. That team, ESG, both of them making interesting choices. Both of them winning like eco rounds, just like anti-eco rounds. It's just all over the place. Really hard to call who's going to come out here. I mean, ESG are now, it's like, it's just constantly these man-down situations. ESG once again find themselves a man down, and Emilio hanging on by a thread.
It looks like it's going to be Hitten over here by Ivy, actually going to be able to pick up a couple of kills if they don't flash him out here. Good flash comes in, but he peeks away just at the right time. Once the smoke is gone, it's going to be tricky. World Edit turning his back. And that smoke staying off for an ungodly amount of time and actually saving that team a fair bit at the moment. No bomb plant yet, though.
No bomb plant yet, and Hitten with the headshot on World Edit through just the dissipating smoke. Another smoke goes down to block him off, however, so that's going to be good enough. Hitten gives away his position as well, so Blade knows there's a man up close, but it's still a 3-on-3 retake situation here for ESG. And unless they can find some sick shots, it's not looking likely because that team have had plenty of time for the afterplant positions.
Yeah, at least ESG can still buy after this, but I think you're right, this is not going to be working out here. That smoke, if that has stayed off for just like 2 seconds shorter, I think Hitten would have picked up a great double kill and it would have been a very different situation. Gonna come in with 1 kill, but now he's trapped in between everything and is gonna try and run away from the bomb, which he'll be successful at, so he can actually just drop this rifle for Rogue. They could have bought on away, I think they would have just got Emilio to drop, so it would have been alright. But now it's 11-11. This is scary, because as far as I know, that team's already won the first map, right?
They have. A very impressive performance on Nuke, in fact, just really putting the pain to ESG. ESG never really seemed to be able to put anything together on Nuke. Everything was going that team's way, and for good reason. I mean, they played patiently, they hit their shots, and they always had crossfires. It really seemed like they had ironed out their rotations, and the communication was on point for them. So I was imagining the same thing for Train, but it doesn't seem to be the case so far.
Well, it looks like they could be winning. If they win this round here, they're probably going to be at 13 rounds before ESG can realistically make a good buy again. So I don't know about this. And especially with the way they're holding... I mean, having one guy in a B early on is probably a good idea. But now, when the first 25 seconds have passed, that's really scary. Still having only one guy at B.
Yeah, they're not really looking like they want to rotate anybody over there as well anytime soon. Emilio is hanging out right below in Pop Dog, so he's going to be able to go for a fairly quick flank up the ladder if he wants. But there is still only one man alive on this B site. I believe that is Wei10, who's holding solo right now. They're trying to get information now across the map, ESG, with the flashes, etc. And now they've rotated 3 guys over. So this is going to be looking like a pretty decent hold here for ESG if they can just land the shots.
Yeah, they are in a good position. Rogue down here, and actually Delpan stepping it up with an AWP shot to take down the bomb carrier. Grenade rains in through. There's going to be a bomb plant anyway coming in here from that team, so nicely done. And a good kill comes in from Bondik. So it is going to be a 4-on-4 now, and ESG going to have to try and retake this. Bondik running up, making a lot of noise, but oh, he's going to get caught as well. Mikey Lily comes in with a shot. If he had got that opening, that would have been really big. Still 3-on-4, and they have one guy on the upper ground. Oh, World Edit goes down, and Flamey very low on health. 10 HP, still surviving. Now he's going to be dead. The bomb diffuser killed. UB in a 1-on-2. Now going to make it a 1-on-1, and they can't find him. Emilio fakes it once, and Ubik's going to peek out here. He goes down, but there's no time. They're going to lose the round anyway, and kind of a weird situation for ESG. I feel like I saw that coming miles away with having just one guy in that bomb site.
Just the one guy on the bomb site, but I think it all comes down to Ubik and him staying alive on upper like that, because we all know that that's the $1 million position for the B site. When you're on the T side, after you get the plant in that kind of position like that, it's insanely difficult to get rid of Ubik, especially since he's playing it so passively like that, only peeking out to stop the defuse, not really taking fights until he knows he has the round locked down. Just stellar play from Ubik to secure that round in the end for that team. Not overextending himself.
But I don't even think it should have gone to that, you know, that it shouldn't have even ended up in that position. That's what I'm trying to say. I think normally you'd see a CT side team be able to defend the B bomb side a lot better, basically. Especially when they got the early kill.
Oh, well, Flamey pushing forward with the OMP is going to manage to pick up one. Delpan comes right back into it, picks up that UMP to put it to work. And now it's a 2-man advantage here for that team. They are holding very solid, but they are taking some damage, quite a bit of damage. In fact, this Rogue managed to pick up yet another kill. With that on the site, gets nailed in the back, actually saving a teammate there, Blade. But again, that's a fairly decent eco round coming in for ESG, actually managing to put a halt to the pain train and make that team spend some money here.
That is good, but the way this game is progressing, that team are going to win this 2-0, and that would be kind of a miserable failure, I think, from ESG. Not to say anything bad at all about, you know, that team, because obviously they've been playing well. They beat Mousesports 2-0 earlier today, so that's pretty impressive, but I mean, if you look at ESG's lineup, they should be able to destroy that team, basically. The fact that they're not
you would think. That's what's really crazy about it, and the performance on Nuke as well was just stellar. That team, it just seemed like they were ahead of the game every time. They were making the right calls as to where they needed to be on the map. When they were there and the push was coming in from ESG, for example, it was just, you know, crossfire after crossfire after crossfire, just chipping ESG down. It just really looked very clean, a very strong first map, which, you know, so far the score seems a whole lot more even, in fact, than I thought it would be going into this second map. ESG, you know, started on the T side and they finished 8-7, so...
Wow.
That team, it was a very close end of the half. That team, I was expecting a lot more out of them on the CT side after their Nuke performance.
Well, if it finishes 8-7 in the first half, and ESG now are at 13-11, it definitely means they're screwing something horribly up. And I guess, looking at the graph right here, winning 2 rounds, losing 2 rounds, winning 2 rounds, losing 3 rounds, this is definitely not a good pattern for a CT side.
Absolutely not. And it's been like that. I mean, if you look at the graph again, it's been like that pretty much the entire first half as well. Just give and take between both of these teams. Really, really close. But now we have actually a pretty decent buy coming in here for ESG. Delpan once again has his precious. And that team pretty well equipped on their side.
Delpan is actually standing still right now. Now he's going to sort of walk forward, wondering why that is. Because that is a really dangerous spot to stand still in. If they were rushing the A-bomb site, Delpan would have probably missed an early kill. This time they have 2 people in the B-bomb side. I like that, and Michael can easily rotate over, so I guess this is good news, but we'll have to see. I guess this is going to be a really close game, much closer than I thought.
It feels like that's the theme now with our 2 quarterfinal matches. It has to be close. It has to be down to the wire. Nearly lost my voice in the Na'Vi LC game.
Well, you know, it was a great job taking over Semler. Of course, I really don't know what happened to my internet. There was a thunderstorm earlier, but I am fairly sure there was some sort of DDoS involved, and then I actually think that the internet in the whole area died almost simultaneously. So I think it was like a double bad luck, basically.
Yeah, that sounds like storm stuff to me. I don't know if the whole internet dies in like your neighborhood. That sounds like something got hit by lightning or whatever.
Okay, Emilio actually stabbed Flamey with the M4 while he was shooting. That's definitely going to kill someone, and that's important. Delpan still waiting over here, going to get flashed out. Bondik and Blade are left 2 on 4, and this is what a CT side round is supposed to look like when you're ESG versus that team, in my opinion. So maybe I just need to, you know, reinvent my idea of what that team's like, because if they've been playing this well so far, that's definitely very cool. Bondik in a bit of a tough position here.
Oh, they were looking very solid, and I mean, we can't forget that they took Mousesports out 2-0 as well. And so,
yep. But I would still say that the difference between Mousesports and ESG is a sizable one. You know, I can kind of get behind that team winning against Mousesports. 2-0 is impressive. That's really cool. I think the score was like 16-10, 16-8 or something. So we're receiving like a fairly good victory, I think, against Mousesports, and that's all right. But ESG is still, I can't really get my head around that, to be honest.
Yeah, it's just at a first glance, looking at the score, you're thinking, okay, well, it wasn't a hard-fought battle, it seems. All right, now dAT team is going for an all-out eco rush, just straight out onto this A site. Hoyten on the A bomb site is not going to allow anything to happen, however, for them. And Blade can't even get close to the bomb train, getting dropped leagues away. And, well, now things start to get really interesting. A good eco there for that team. Enough money to buy pretty much what they need. And ESG actually getting a little bit of breathing room as far as money is concerned for them. They could actually force up next round if they were to lose this one. And have a reasonable buy.
Yeah. But losing any more rounds at this point is definitely a really scary idea. World did it taking a challenge up against Delpan. Nobody hitting anything, but I like it. That's really cool from World did it. Not many people want to challenge Delpan on train, and the fact that he wants to go for it, I think that speaks of some confidence here.
He's been doing really good World at it, landing some pretty crucial shots, including some ACL shots as well. So this has been a real battle between the two of them. But right now, it seems like ESG really pretty fairly spread out across the map. 3 guys on A, 2 on B. And I like the setup that they have on B as well. 1 on upper, 1 on lower, like that. Just taking advantage, trying to cover as much ground as possible.
Yeah, Emilio was just doing something really stupid. Now he's in a better position, but previously he was actually able to be shot from T main, and no one could cover him. None of his teammates were looking that way. So he would have been going down if anyone had been peeking from that team's side. That's a big mistake that goes unpunished, but I'm going to point it out anyway, because that is the sort of stuff that really loses rounds.
Well, that can get a lot of teams into hot water fast, that's for sure. I'm still trying to see like where exactly that team are going with 30 seconds left. They actually have to hightail it with a bomb through Brown Halls. They're trying to make it look and sound like an A push here through Alley. And ESG have got to be flipping out right now. They haven't really decided. They're actually rotating a guy over to long, but they are going to bring him back onto the B side. And now, how does this go down?
Oh, Flamey gets the opening kill. That's a big one. Now in the B-bomb site, they're going to lose another player. World did it coming up with that kill. Bondik going to go down to Michael Lily, but this is going to be a bomb plant. Coming up from behind, Emilio is gone, and that is actually the retake pretty much ruined already. They're going to have to just fall back here and save the rifles. There's no point in doing it. And even that is looking really tough. And I think Delpan is having more issues.
I have no idea. But Delpan not having much luck. He just runs out into the middle of nowhere. And he is not pleased. So there's the pause.
Can't really blame... that's a very, very unfortunate thing if it's going to end up going down to that, basically. What? Alright, well, Delpan is not happy.
Delpan definitely not happy right now.
Alright, let's see if we can figure this out. I'm just trying to update myself on the whole internet situation in the meantime. I really want to know if it was the internet in my area that went down or if it's something else. So sorry if I'm a little bit preoccupied still. Apart from that, of course, thanks to all of you for still staying around. Really sorry that we had all of that technical stuff going around, but seems to be working a little bit better now. I hope. I trust. I believe.
What?
What?
No, I'm still kind of wondering what exactly is going to happen here, because Delpan has dropped out, or is he just waiting? Seems like he's waiting. It seems like it's returned to somewhat to normal here, so they will go ahead and unpause. But that team have the lead now at this point. Do you think at that point Delpan being alive is enough of a difference maker? That's the thing.
Yeah, it's not even that. I think it's a little bit worse than just having like one guy being out. I think it's the difference is also you're counting on some people to have certain part of the maps or be part of some, you know, sort of rotation that you're doing. So when all of a sudden one guy's out, it causes a lot of confusion. Especially you got to remember as well, they're on TeamSpeak somewhere. So if they're saying, all right, Delpan, you know, you're going to go this way, are you ready, or whatever, and then all of a sudden he's not responding, it causes, you know, everyone else to get delayed in whatever they're doing. It actually is a, you know, a much bigger problem in that sense.
No, very true, very true. And it's also a mental thing as well. If you can't actually focus, it does like, it's like putting, you know, you got the bike going down and you put a stick in the wheels, right? In the spokes. All of a sudden it's just like momentum, 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 dead halt. And you have to try and recover that momentum now. ESG do. And they have to go for a bit of a force here as well. They get rifles, but they're very limited on nades right now. And that's not going to help them on train when you really do need the accessories to help hold these big open sites.
Yeah, I mean, let's see. He's down to not an AWP but an M4 instead, and this is pretty much game for ESG if they lose this round. That team is going to be able to take it. They won't have any money at all, and they're going to lose 2-0 to that team, which would be a pretty big surprise, I think.
Oh, it would be huge. It would be a story of upsets tonight then in that case, right? Because we would think that ESG are going to win pretty handily over that team. But Navi, London, I mean, Navi LC, I think it's really tough to top that upset. That's one for the history books right there.
Yeah, especially because that at least was a game without DDoSing issues, whereas this one, it seems to be that Delpan is having a lot of issues. Has it been like this when I've been gone as well?
No, it hasn't. This is the first time we've seen this.
Alright, well that's good news at least. Cause
actually,
that
no,
is...
once on nuke, but...
Alright, well...
quickly resolved, and we lose Delpan very quickly here. Speaking of that, Flamey manages to find him. Roke will strike back and pick off Ubik, though. This is a lower push, an inner push in the meantime, and it's just frags all over the place. It's falling apart, but now that team have the man advantage.
Emilio, Maikelele, 2-on-3 here. Maikelele's going to come up big. He's going to pick up the 1 kill now. WorldEdit will get the bomb plant, and these are some good positions. WorldEdit goes down, unfortunately. Flamey will pick up the kill, and now Emilio rotating in from the set connector, and he doesn't have a kit. He doesn't have any grenades left. He's going to have to find Flamey and do it really quickly. He's going to get him here, and he does go down anyway. Flamey picks up a triple kill and wins it for that team. And there it is.
Unreal. Flamey. What a shot.
Alright then. That was just crazy.
Wow, really impressive. Back bad coming. But let's see where we're going here with this, because it's just the full out Russian ESG all over the place with the pistols. Pick off Blade to begin, and that's not going to help things considering that team, they are 1 round away from moving on to the main event in Cologne, Germany.
That would be just an utterly insane thing to imagine that team going to Cologne. I would have never, ever in a million years predicted that. Delpan doing some good work with the max 7, but he's still going to be going down. And now it's a 3-on-3 match and map point in favor of that team. And Maikelele outside here does get a good headshot in. It's now a 2-on-3. And, I mean, it's not over, but I still think Ubik and Bundit can definitely do this.
You cursed them. You cursed them, Anders.
Oh, God. I really didn't mean to. I don't know. It seems like ESG not even really taking this seriously. Like, from the way they're typing in chat, they're just having a good time, basically. Losing to that team 2-0. I would have thought they would be furious, basically.
I think they're pretty furious, but that actually just gave ESG the chance that they needed to take this to overtime. All of a sudden, I guess, you know, not giving any cares at all has really just turned it around for them. Giving
Maybe
0 fucks is what I meant to say.
I'm definitely very surprised by all of this. Emilio gonna receive some damage too, not a terrible amount, just 25, but there's still good play coming out from. I mean, maybe you're right. That team they found good angles to peek at. They've gotten good timings, at least from what I've been seeing so far. So maybe it's not all just ESC or ESG playing weirdly here.
they've been really impressive throughout this series so far. But now, I mean, this is it. It's not even over yet. Flamey with the AK. We've seen what he's capable of so far. Great nade onto him to start. That's done quite a bit of damage already. He's not going to be too pleased with that. But it's not a kill. We're still sitting at a 5-on-5 situation, and Huiten is still taking peeks towards that alley.
Yeah, and so little time left. They're going to run through the smoke eventually, and he's going to go down. He jumped with a knife out for absolutely no reason, and now there's a big opening here. The question is, are they going to be able to hold on to it? Delpan pretty close to the A-bomb site. Rotating in is Emilio, and all he has to do is just wait here. 25 seconds left. Delpan picks up a kill. They have to play this for the time. Emilio coming in from the back. World Edit will take him down. 20 seconds, and ESG, they keep peeking like it's, you know, the clock working against them and not the other way around.
Oh, he gets the bomb plant down. Michael is still taking shots from the back line. Roke has been smoked off in connector, but that smoke is quickly clearing. There's still a man advantage for that team, but we saw what ESG did last time that happened as Roke picks off World Edit. 2-on-2 now, and they have to find a way here, ESG. Blade is waiting. The quick bunch up, and Roke somehow does it.
Oh my god, are we really going to see overtime? This is ridiculous. He does have a kit. The UV's going to peek out here. He's running in, trying to see if he can stop it. 1 second, and Rogue is going to kill him. Triple, and we are at overtime. What on earth are we witnessing? Like, I mean, I'm a little bit strange. I'm a little bit confused coming into this because I sort of joined halfway through. But what I've seen from ESG so far seems like complete and utter madness. Like, it just seems like they've forgotten how to play the game. It's 20 seconds left. And they just decide to peek all of that team running in when they're nowhere near the bomb site. There's no good explanation for that, I fear.
I don't know. It seems just really confusing, actually. That team actually getting within range of it. But Roke, you gotta give it to Roke, though. He got 2. The first one on the bomb, like, by bomb train, okay, granted, World Edit had, like, 10 HP left. But the second on the man waiting up in T-Heaven, that was impressive. That was some very, very quick work from him. It's a really impressive play from Roke that round. I think he made it all possible because Michael Lely could actually get the defuse while Roke was cleaning house. Look at how even it is across the board, though, for both of these teams as far as the frags are concerned. Like, there is no real gap between any of the players. Everybody seems to be pulling their weight on the teams.
It's definitely pretty impressive here. This overtime is going to be scary for everyone. I guess it's MR3 10,000, is that it?
I believe so, yeah. No, it's not MR3, it's MR5 16.
Alright, so that's a big difference, obviously. That, I don't know, I guess that's going to be pretty good for ESG. That means they can stack up on a lot more equipment here on the CT side.
It's like ESG keep going on the CT side, right? That's the thing, Anders. You missed it. I mean, the end of LC versus Na'Vi, we had overtime, and LC went 5-0 on Dust 2 CT side against Na'Vi first half. Just ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. We have to see what we have to see if ESG is going to actually manage it here, or they need to pick up the first round at least, because even 5 rounds is quite a bit of time. If you don't pick up that first round and gain a little bit of breathing room. You have 5 rounds, but still.
Yeah, and on train as well. I mean, normally we'd call it the CT-sided map, but with the first half ending 8-7 and the way it's been going back and forth so far, that's kind of hard to make a prediction. Have they gone for like an AWP and auto-sniper setup at any point, ESG, during the first half here?
Pardon me?
Have they gone for AWP and auto-sniper at any point on the CT side here?
They haven't gone for a double wombo combo, no. But they have gone for a straight up Scar 20 on Michaelele, and then it just seemed like they swapped, they alternated. It wasn't like the op and Scar 20 at any point, but that was also because Michaelele had the Scar 20 when his team was ecoing pretty much. Like, they bought that round and then they got screwed. Michaelele held on to the Scar 20, and that's the only reason why they kept it or still had it.
All right, fair enough. I'm just gonna turn off the continuous one because I think maybe. There we go, I'm transmitting a bit too much. It's always the opposite way when someone else is holding it, so I'm just going to use push to talk here.
Okay. Is it, did we pick up the stream now? Or is it are we still on Tota's stream?
I'm not sure, I think we still are. Probably still going to be Get Right, yeah.
Okay.
But I think people could hear me breathe a little bit, so sorry about that, guys. Usually it's a little bit different when I'm the one doing the streaming, but I think hopefully it's going to be alright now. We'll see. But thanks for the tweet anyway, Matthew, for pointing it out. Yeah, some technical issues, and apparently, what is eBot been disconnected in the meantime? That was actually an issue. I remember Faceit had this problem at one point where instead of DDoSing the server, they DDoSed eBot. So, that's also a thing.
I haven't heard of that yet. Still just kind of floating. I'm wondering what's actually happening here. Do we have anything in the admin chat?
I don't know. I haven't actually dared locking on Skype afterwards, so I really don't know.
Okay.
I think it's better if I don't. Let's put it like that.
Yeah. I gotcha.
Terrible things happen on Skype. We'll see. So far, the internet is working, but I guess there is not a lot of point in DDoSing me as long as I'm not hosting the stream, so we'll see.
They're waiting to lure you in.
Exactly. Bastards. Oh, well. Cost of doing business on the internet, right?
Oh, man. Well, it's a shame that we have this delay right now because this is giving a lot of time for the teams to catch a breather here. I really wanted to see if ESG could actually just start, hit the ground running and keep going from here. It's been so close this entire map, and we still have, I believe, Mirage to be the map that would settle it all here. But it does look like we're back. Both teams are ready. We're getting into the first half of the overtime here. It's MR5, 16K starting money, guys. And this is it. That team now one round of overtime away from qualifying for the main event.
Yep, and that is exactly what it is. So we're looking for the first team to get 21 rounds. Is that correct? Yeah, I think it is.
We're looking for first team to win 6 rounds in this overtime.
Yeah, so 21 in total out of the, they're at 15-15, so
wow.
See if they can do it. There is an AWP and an auto sniper, so there's that combination that I was talking about. They're going to be down, and actually Emilio goes down. Very nice opening coming out from Flame. And we'll see if they can continue in this fashion. Blade goes down, and behind Electric, it's going to be Flame to fall next.
It's not really looking too good here for that team. They're getting overwhelmed. Huiten is still alive on that A-site bomb, and then it's just the crossfires everywhere. Delpan managed to find one. Roke gets 2 in the end. Roke really coming alive here for ESG. And he did as well on the first map. He did good work for ESG, so Roke really stepping up to the plate here for the Swedes, but it's not going to be good enough for that team. They just spent a whole lot of money, and they didn't even get a plan for it. But now they do the double tap, Anders. They go for the AWP Scar 20 combo.
Yeah, no, they had that before as well. They had it in the first round of the overtime here. That's what really surprised me, but it wasn't really that that made it a big difference, but it's still nice to see it. I think that's going to allow them a little bit more room to work with. Rogue over here by the B bomb side. Again, he's alone, but this time at least he's further up. And I think, if he's going to be alone, I'd rather have him play aggressively than close into the site.
Yeah, the danger of him getting overrun, like right off the bat, is too great, especially if he's right on the site. Look at Huiten's position, though. He's pushed all the way up into team A, and Blade is just waiting for him, though. Baiting him. And then Blade runs away. The timing there, and Huiten hears him stomping, too, so Huiten getting a lot of information for his team, and we can see the instant rotation from Michaelele, he gets that Scar 20 over to the B side as quickly as possible, going off of Huiten's information.
Yeah, but over here, World Dead is waiting for Delpan. If Delpan re-peaks, very likely going to be him dead with the AWP. That seems like a likely scenario. Look how close they are. Delpan just has to take one step to his left, and he's going to be gone instantly, and that will be the opening that they're looking for. Flash goes in. Essentially takes down Flamey. Unfortunate stuff coming in here. That was a very good angle, though, coming out from World Edit. I really like that. He's going to go down to Delpan as well. Not the ideal start coming out here from that team.
And Michaelele is going to find a shot on upper. Bondik trying to sneak his way in. It's now the man with the bomb on the lower site, just leaping into Rogue's waiting arms. A flawless hold for ESG. 17 rounds now to their name, and a very strong start in this overtime. I mean, so far they're looking indomitable. Where is this coming from after such a shaky regular time performance, rather, from ESG?
Yeah. I don't know. But it seemed, you're right, it seemed strong in the last couple of rounds, but you still have to wonder what would have happened if Delpan had been picked off. Would that have been the opening that they needed? Because previously, the last couple of rounds we've seen here, that team has had no issue really putting on the pressure once they get one single opening.
Very true, very true. I mean, they do speed up very quickly, that team, but they really go for a passive play at the beginning of this half as well. Delpan, he will run into World Edit. World Edit actually landing the shots through. They're going to go for the double nade onto Delpan. This could be brutal. Delpan lives through the second nade, only taking 4 points of damage. Unreal.
It hit the side of the wall and actually bounced in front of Delpan. I think he's very lucky to be alive. And again, that team actually missing a very narrow opening to get a great start to a round. They really can't know that, but that is unfortunate for them. That was 2 rounds now where they could have probably had a really good opening, and they just ended up not having it. Inside the B-bomb side, Rogue is waiting, and way in the back is Mykilele. So this is a very cool setup, because if they come in, they're probably going to be focused on Rogue, and he's going to be able to shoot freely from the back. At least that's how it should work. Now Molotov goes down. If they try this push, I think Mykilele should have a really good chance to do this.
It's going to be a double fake up from Hot Dog, though. There's 2 guys coming from here. Huiten was backing up Emilio, but now it's going to be the rush out onto the B side. Flashes and flames everywhere, including the smoke. Mykilele is going to manage to pick up the first one, and Rogue strikes, picks up Flamey. There's a molly down, and Blade isn't even allowed to get the plant down. Oh, we're looking at a totally different ESG here.
I have no explanation. Do you have a reason for why this is happening, Samler?
Sometimes it seems like, okay, like London Conspiracy, they really struggled towards the end of regular time with Na'Vi because they had opportunities to close the match out, and Na'Vi, you know, they actually managed to bring it to overtime. But once it was overtime, it was like all of a sudden London Conspiracy were landing every damn shot, and everything was going right for them. They weren't hesitating. Nothing really seemed to be able to go wrong. And I feel like I'm watching that over again now with ESG. It must be a Scandinavian thing.
Delpan's going to open up over on Ivy. So, I don't know if it's a Scandinavian thing, but it's certainly working out really well for ESG. Over at the B-bomb site, Rogue going to pick up a kill. Then he goes down, and the flank instantly happening here from Emilio. And this is really, really swift. World are going to pick up a kill, but Emilio's making a lot of noise, and actually they spot him. Blade's going to come up. Emilio picks double kill. The bomb is down, and what a turnaround.
Somehow, there's still a minute left on this clock, though, so Bondic does have the opportunity to slow things down, but Huiten has spotted out exactly where he is. And they're closing in on him. He actually has nowhere to go. Emilio is waiting on the other side towards Brown Halls. Huiten now backing through, looking to connect there. He's reading Bondic like a book at this point, or Bondic is reading him, whatever. Bondic looked like he was going to be heading to connector to catch Huiten, and that's just not going to happen.
But the great thing is that Huiten is running over here because they have the bomb. Emilio has the bomb. They don't have to challenge Bondic one at a time. They can just set up a situation where they are almost 100% guaranteed to trade him, and it will be easy to set that up for them the way they are right now. Bondic is doing something smart, though, coming up from behind. Maybe he can make this into a one-on-one, but look at the time left here. 20 seconds. He's going to have to move lightning fast, and he's going to go down. Man, that team have not had a lot of luck going into this overtime.
No, it's just a totally different beast. It really is just a totally different beast here. ESG are looking just like London Conspiracy did in their first half versus Na'Vi. Everything is working for them now. All of a sudden, they figured it out. And I guess they just needed a few extra rounds or the pressure to go away after the regular time. Sometimes it seems like that's all that's necessary.
Emilio, Molotov in, going to take down Ubik, and if more are coming, they're going to burn alive, so they're going to have to wait right now. This is going to be 5 straight rounds in a row for ESG unless the last 3 members of that team can refine the form that they had earlier. Bondic coming up from behind, taking down Emilio, but he doesn't get the second one. Auto's hyper too strong.
It's too brutal. Mykilele as well. I mean, 2 kills for him. And this is a minute 11 left on this clock with that team no closer. They haven't looked like they were able to get onto a site consistently at all this entire round of overtime. They've just been shut out completely. And now that, you know, Flamey gets bogged down, Blade does as well, and that's the end. It's a perfect first half for ESG. They just need 1 round now going forward into the remainder of this overtime.
20-15, and overtime. Yeah, I mean that they have so much money to work with as well on the terror side. If they can just play for pickoffs and get even a single kill at the beginning, that is very likely going to be train going in favor of ESG. In spite of, at least it seems to me, in spite of some very questionable play from the Swedish team.
There's no calling it. It really does seem very odd. But now we have to see, are dAT team capable of the same? Are they able to back up and find their center here, because they just took 5 rounds to the face. ESG are 1 round away from taking this to map 3, and that 3rd map is going to be Mirage, a map that ESG are pretty good at.
At least they should be, I agree, but I mean, I've had a hard time making any predictions tonight, so I really don't want to call it to a... I guess we'll have to wait and find out. Delpan looking for the kill, going to pick down Ubik. There is that opening, and because they get it so soon, Samler, I mean, they have a lot of room to work with here.
Yeah, they do. Now, actually, things are looking pretty favorable here for the Swedes. We already have a good rotation coming in here, however. Flamey getting really up close, but he's just going to get rushed down. No, he's not! Triple spray from Flamey, and that's the kind of play that team needs.
Yeah, it is. About time here. And Flamey, I mean, where did he come from? He's got 31 kills. I remember Flamey from the past in some of the USSR teams and stuff like that, but nothing like this kind of form we've seen from him ever before, I think. World Edit looking down here is going to pick a shot while he's flashed. Nicely done. And Emilio is going to be alone in a 1-on-3. Looking to see if he can get another kill in, but winning the round is not going to be possible, I think.
It's a tall order at this point, and he will get caught by Blade. So, that team, thanks to Flamey, I thought he was done for, especially when both members from ESG pushed at the same time, turned at the same time, looked at him at the same time. I'm like, okay, that's it, Flamey is gone, and they're going to get onto this B site. But Flamey just pulls a triple kill out of nowhere, out of thin air, and saves his team that round. Huge play from him.
31 kills. That is definitely sick. Let's see, Rogue falling a little bit early on. Looks like it's going to be a bit of a slow push coming out here from ESG. Again, you know, playing for pickoffs is a really good way of playing the terror side of Train, I think.
Well, this is definitely what both teams are favoring. Like, this is the same style, although it does seem like ESG are a bit more aggressive with their approach here. Not necessarily wasting, but, you know, taking 45, 50, you know, a minute just sitting around the map, you know, hoping that that team are going to peak somewhere. ESG seemed like they want to take a bit more of an active approach, setting up for an A split here. Oh, and Blade heard the step.
He's going to be charging in. Ooh, Delpan takes him down. That's all from the team main. Bondit gets dropped as well. Not the start that they were looking for. It's 5-on-3. They can still bring it back, but this is not looking good. Flamey comes in with a good headshot on Emilio. Delpan going to take down Ubeat. Now it's a 2-on-4. Can Flamey do it once more?
It's all on him now. Gets the flank, picks up one. Looking for another here, however. Roke is going to get the high ground advantage and looks towards Flamey. There it is. Roke gets the headshot on him, and this is pretty much it. World Edit 1v3 with an AWP. It is not going to be possible here. ESG just aren't going to show. So long as they don't show themselves, World Edit can't win this round. They have all of the advantage. He gets a no-scope. Very nice work there. But is it good enough? 1v2. They should be able to lock him down, and the crossfire is there. ESG, make it happen. GG, well played is called, and we will be going to Mirage to settle this after all.
Unbelievable stuff. I'm still very impressed by that team. I had no idea it was going to be this kind of game at all. That's 21-16, and now the big question is if we're going to try and launch the stream from my PC or if we're going to keep it like we have.
Let's go ahead and try, dude. Let's go ahead and try. See what happens.
All right. So, Get Right, you still around?